Hello, 7th grade. Today we're going to get our first actual art assignment, and in this assignment we're going to be learning about and using the elements of art and principles of art. We're going to be using line, shape, space, and color. Color is going to come later, and all of the principles. And together we're going to be making 4 different abstract designs to help us learn about the elements and principles. So here we go. We're going to get started. I'm going to make you a little bit dizzy here for a second. Spin you around. Alright, good. So let me pull this up a little bit and focus. Right about there. Alright, so let's talk about the elements first. So the first one is line. And when we think about all the different lines, there's a ton of them. There's vertical, horizontal, diagonal, curved, spiraled, zigzagged, I don't know, like a Greek line, kind of chaotic line. There's all kinds of lines. There's even lines that are thick. If I were to fill this in, there's thin lines, there's tapered lines. So all kinds of different lines are going to become useful. And then there's shapes. And then there's the shapes that have names. Most of those are called geometric shapes. And we know those: triangles, squares, circles, even shapes, like I said, that have names, like hearts and diamonds, mostly geometric. And then there's organic shapes, shapes that, you know, don't have a name, like this. Some of them have round curves, but there's shapes that have sharp edges. Okay? The last thing that we're going to be doing today is space. So how do you show space in art? Well, what we are going to do is do something called overlap or overlapping. So if I draw a simple circle and then I draw a circle behind it, I just made it look like this circle is on top of this one, and I can repeat that. And another little trick that I'm doing is I'm going smaller and smaller. And of course you can do that with anything. Another thing that I want to show, and it's regarding line, is I want to create something called bands. So if I draw one line like this and I repeat that, this now looks like a strip or a band. And if I were to draw another one and stop it there and pretend like it's going underneath and continue, I've now just created the illusion of this band going through or underneath or being overlapped. So all these tricks that I showed you here is what we are going to use to create our abstract design. So to do that, you are going to need just an ordinary piece of paper, and I know that we are all stuck at home right now, so any type of paper that you can find. This is just paper right out of the printer paper. This is a piece of construction paper. Now, since I'm not giving you your paper, you're going to find it your own. Paper has different weight. See, this is really weak and flimsy, which I do like, but this one, it's got what's called weight, and it is thicker. So it causes a little bit of issues when it comes to this next step of folding. Alright, the other thing is, look at how this computer paper is smaller than the construction paper. That is not an issue at all. So I'm going to start with this paper here, and what we're going to be doing is folding this in half as best as you can. So as I'm doing this, I'll talk about some of the goals. The goals, obviously, is I want you to use the elements and principles of art to create a good composition. A composition is your artwork and how you organize all of the principles and all of the elements that we use. Alright, so now you can see that I folded the piece of paper up. And by folding, I want to kind of destroy the paper fiber on this edge. So if I fold it again, it's going to keep getting weaker and weaker, which is what I want because I'm going to rip this in half. But on this fold, what you'll notice is on my fingernail, or I could even use a marker and get this edge very crisp and flat, and that's going to make it easier to tear. So how I tear is I start the paper really slowly here, flip it around, start the end very slowly, and then it's laid up on the table and it kind of has a peak there, and I'll purposely kind of pull that paper in and slowly start to tear it down. So that's trick number 1 from Mr. Joseph, how to tear paper. Now when I get to the edge right there, I gotta really slow down, because if I do it quick, it could possibly tear over here or tear over there, but I slow down and kind of control that paper. Alright, so I'm going to put this aside. And now I'm going to do the construction paper one. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult because of the weight. It's thicker. Also, the corners don't line up, so I'm lining up the edge. You can see how the corner is not matching up with the paper here. So here I kind of slowly press and fold until I get the edge. And now I'm going to destroy that edge with my fingernail. So one of the second goals I want you to focus on or realize is I want you to be able to problem solve. You're going to run into problems at home, finding your own supplies, not having me there teaching you. So I want you to think about the problem, and you're going to have to solve your own solutions. That's just a part of growing up. Alright, so I rip here, I'll rip there, and I take my time on this one. This is thicker. You see how it kind of ripped really quick? So I got to control it. Control. And if you do not want to rip it like how I have, you can use scissors if you want. Okay? Alright, now we do want to do this a few times. I want 4 of these, at least 4. we are going to be doing 4 different abstract designs, thinking about different principles of art, and ultimately we will be coloring these later. So now that I have one, I'm going to work on this one. I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm not going to like really put my fingernail in there and destroy that edge. And then I'm going to fold it in half again here. I want to be as precise as I possibly can. Okay. And I want you to do that over and over again until you get at least 4. Okay? With any type of paper that you want. And that is step 1, just getting our paper ripped and folded. And I'll see you in the next video.